So the things that come to mind about me, I'm from Michigan. I grew up all around Michigan growing up. Love Detroit. My company is there. Lived in and out of Detroit, my whole life. I have 8 siblings. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of us. I guess I'm kind of in the middle-ish. It's 9 of us total. But yeah, I got a lot of sisters, brothers, nieces, nephews. So big family person. You feel me? I love to cook. I love to cook. I'm very creative. I make glasses and all that. You feel me?
All right, now I tell you from Michigan, are you an East Side or you West Side?
No, definitely West Side, man.
Oh.
We're gonna keep it official around here.
Right.
We're gonna keep it real official around here, man. Long story short, God. So I had I always say God met me when I was 13. Fast forward to 16, I had a dream. In that dream, I was literally told word for word why God created me, and which was to invent things. And so I got all these different downloads as a kid on things I wanted to create. But glasses was the thing that stuck out to me. And so when I got the idea, I wrote down everything, mailed it back to myself, etc. And when I was 21, God spoke to me again and told me not to get comfortable where I was, but to work on the vision. And when I heard God say vision, I knew it was like the glasses. And so, for the last 10, 11 years, I went through all the ups and downs of starting a business, from working with manufacturers to prototyping in my basement, my friend's basement. My first office was a school in Southwest Detroit where we did a lot of prototyping. My mission is to help people see themselves through God's eyes, right? Through the unconditional, eyes of God's love. That's what my whole mission is. And I didn't always know that. When I first got the vision, I didn't get the name till I was 23. And that literally came in prayer. I wasn't actually looking for it, but a good friend of mine, my business partner, she encouraged me to do so. And then once I got the name, I literally had to become everything that it is. So like, I could write a whole book on what my brand is now. But yeah, so it's kind of lengthy because it's like, my goal is to help people see Christ within.
Yeah.
Right. And you can pinpoint any issue in the world. And I feel like the way that we're trying to solve problems in the world is all external for the most part. The majority of it isn't within. And so I feel like, everyone has this one-on-one with God within themselves, learn about how much God loves them, then they can actually love themselves. And then you can love your neighbor as you love yourself. But if your capacity to love yourself is small, that's as much as you can give to your neighbor.
Yeah.
But with God, that capacity increases. Now you can love others as he has loved you. And so like, that's the journey that I hope to help people get on. So yeah.
That explains the God and I.
Yeah, and my slogan is see God in you. So it's from Colossians 1:26, Christ in you, the hope of glory, which is literally the mystery that was hidden before the foundation of the world, is that Christ wanted to live within us. Challenges are opportunities. That's how I look at them now. I didn't always look at it that way, but the more I've grown with this, I used to just complain a lot in the beginning of my journey because I wanted things to happen. I wanted to see the full vision happen. But that's like the immaturity in us, right? But along the way, it probably wasn't even 2 years ago for real, where I had to begin to really appreciate the journey and, look at myself and see how far I've come. So I look at challenges as opportunities now. But some of the ones I had to face was walking by faith, right? So actually believing that you can create something without all the external validation. So I waited a long time. Like I had my company for 10 years. We're in our 10-year anniversary. My first 5 years, even though I always talked about wanting to do this, I always held myself back because I always was like, well, I don't have the money. I don't have an investor. I don't have a factory. I kept talking about what I didn't have. And so I literally had to start focusing on who I knew, what can I do with the money I had, Learning how to use Google better. You understand what I'm saying? Learning how to use YouTube better. Learning how to look at scholarly sources for deep research, and kind of really get over myself. You understand what I'm saying? And I would say my biggest challenge was probably myself, to be honest.
Okay, so we are calling the breed of Dalmatian the living original. And so the description that we have is that what sets the Dalmatian apart is more than just its elegance or history. It's the artistry written on its coat. No two Dalmatians ever share the same spot pattern. Each one is born a blank canvas, pure, white at birth, and over time their spots emerge in a design that will never be duplicated. It's nature's fingerprint stamped onto fur. This is why we call them the living original. Unlike many breeds whose looks can be almost identical, every Dalmatian is one of a kind. Their coats are living proof that individuality can't be copied, and the beauty lies in their uniqueness. From bold, clustered spots to delicate, scattered markings, each Dalmatian carries a story on its coat, a story no other dog in the world will ever wear, not even its own here. So, with those qualities and what we've talked about, and I feel like you're going to go in now, excited. How do you see those qualities in yourself and in your work?
Wow, I go kind of connected to the last question. Us being made in God's image, we can go real deep on that. We'll try to bring it in. The way I look at it is that we're all unique expressions of God.
Absolutely.
And God is much more diverse than we think He is. I mean, God is an endless, unlimited spirit. So everything about God is unlimited, from God's love to God's joy. Nothing ever ends. With God's kingdom never ends. And so I feel like, we have that fingerprint in our DNA, right? We literally have a fingerprint that's different than everybody's, right? And so I feel like, that aspect of God is in us. And I also feel like that should make us respect each other more.
Definitely.
And love each other more, because just because somebody may be different doesn't mean that it's wrong, right? You can find something you appreciate about everybody. I mean, currently right now, I make all my glasses by hand. Yeah. Made in Detroit, of course. So every pair is technically a one-on-one, Even with people I'm training right now to, grow the company, they will have their uniqueness put on those glasses. So I remember speaking with a high-end fashion brand who makes handbags, and their artists got so skilled that they could see a bag 10 years later and know that they made that bag specifically, even though they all look identical, right? So I feel like that uniqueness is also in my brand as well.
Yeah, I definitely agree.
I would hope that they would begin to get on that journey of seeing God within. And if they don't, I would hope that they would at least start asking questions. I think questions are good. Even when you just think about how God's love is endless, right? I think sometimes we want things to be very black and white. I learn new things about myself every month, every day, really. But I think especially when it comes to God and God's love and just the things of God in general, that goes so far. And so we have a piece of that in us, right? So I think we need to have more grace with each other, man. We need to understand that we're all trying to connect with the spirit within, something you can't see, right? And though we do have a book, right? There's many spiritual books, right? But we have the book called the Bible. It's not all that straightforward as it may seem, right? So, which is why you have so many different denominations and things like that, right? So I would say, number one, I want people to see themselves from the eyes of God's love. They're gonna get on that journey. And if they don't, at least begin asking questions so they can one day get on that journey. It's not what you have that's the most important. That's not what you do that's the most important. It's who you are that's the most important. And that's something I try to get my nephews to understand. They're young, they want to be cool, they want to be accepted by their peers. You understand what I'm saying? But if you're not careful, you'll get caught up in trying to have a bunch of stuff to prove to people that you are something. So you get caught up in doing a bunch of stuff to try to prove something to somebody. You understand what I'm saying? But who you are is the most important, because then what you do has more meaning, and what you have has more meaning. When so that's where it starts to me.
Sorry about us. It does. Because if you could see, then everybody else to be able to see.
Yeah, I want my nephew to know like he's important whether he have a gold chain on or not.
Absolutely.
You understand what I'm saying? Like you can be cool with slippers on it. You know, it's all about you having that self-confidence and you seeing yourself from a certain lens. You feel what I'm saying? I feel that's where it starts with everything. I feel like, and you can sense it when people are living from basically you start living from lack. Yeah. And the things you try to catch up with something. You think if I do this, then I'll be accepted or I'll be cool, I'll be that, and that's not how it goes.
Yeah.
Thing we can teach or preach is our life. You feel what I'm saying? I don't necessarily personally see myself as an influencer. I know I have influence.
I mean,
I'm just keeping it real. Like
I feel it though.
I feel like
you don't see it that way. You just being you.
Yeah, I try to like live a certain quality of life and try to be as authentic as possible. But that starts with me. You feel what I'm saying? And I feel like one day the gospel will be so great in the world, not because it's being preached on bigger platforms, but because people really live it.
Yeah.
And when you think about Peter's shadow, like Peter walking down the street and they were throwing sick people out into the street so his shadow could just go over them and heal them. Peter wasn't praying for people. His shadow was healing people because Peter became something. Yeah. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. And so I think that authenticity is the key. I feel like that's when God can really speak to you because there's no pride there, right? I'm authentic with God. If I have issues, God loves me enough to help me get through them. But if I'm faking and trying to be something else, then that's pride, and God resists the proud. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like
you can't really work with something that's not you.
Yeah. And then forget about what people think. It's hard, but we all gotta overcome it. Forget about what people say. Have it sounded wrong anyway. You understand what I'm saying? As far as like you as an individual person. Yeah. So if somebody's trying to change you or your uniqueness because they feel like you should be more like me or more like our church or more like our church culture, no, you're a kingdom citizen. Absolutely. And you came from God. You feel me? So just try to get on that road of authenticity as fast as you can. You feel what I'm saying? What's next for me? I have promises from God that I'm living from and standing on that I'll look at it come to pass. For my brand, I just had this year, I hired a brand manager. So we been going over, my life since I was 16 years old and when I got this brand from God and trying to make it, as palatable as possible for people. And really, again, work on getting people on the journey. So my goal is, hopefully going into 2026 is getting on this journey of seeing God within will be not a step-by-step process, but it will be a path. You won't just see the terms in marketing. You won't just, here and there. You actually be able to say, hey, like, this is the first step I can get over. So that's my.
I'm stoked to hear people's testimonies. Like, I found God by getting some glass.
I mean, that is dope.
That's gonna be fun.
That's what's up.
Well, that's the end of our interview. Thank you so much for giving us your time. We appreciate you. We're excited for everything that is in store for you. We just can't wait.
Thank you, and I'm excited for you as well. Congratulations.